Hello YouTube, you might have seen my previous video where I was getting ready for this show called Makers Central. Well, I had all of my creature sculpts all over my living room floor and it was absolute chaos. Managed to hire a van, got all the creatures in it, took about 3 hours to get them all in the van, and then I got them here to Makers Central. So this is my stand at Makers Central. I was selling a lot of these little mini monsters. I made 100 for the show. I ended up selling about 60 of them over the weekend, so that was pretty cool. Got a few leftovers that I can sell to students and things like that. Did my business cards, did my little stickers, so I was able to give those out to loads and loads of people. I met so many friendly people at the show with really kind of positive things to say, and you can probably hear my voice is basically gone because it was a really full-on weekend. It's a really loud event anyway because it's really busy, loads of people there, and I had to do a couple of talks as well. So I did a talk on the Saturday, but I realised that I was on the second stage and there's a main stage as well. And on the main stage at exactly the same time that I was doing my talk was Colin Furze. So I can't compete with Colin Furze, obviously. So my little stage only had probably about 30 or 40 people on it. But that was okay. And then on the Sunday, it was much busier. And yeah, I was able to do my speech for the second time, and it was kind of just a bit more relaxed, and I had a bit more fun with it. So really good. But you can see what I brought with me was a lot. And when you set up at Maker Central, you only have about 2 hours. I could park the van at the side of the hall, and then it was just toing and froing with all the creatures. The 2 hours that we have turned into more like only an hour and a half because we had to go and collect our kind of passes and things for the show. But I had this kind of like special pass so I could just walk in and out as I pleased, and that was really nice. It makes you feel really important. It's a bit like that scene in Wayne's World, you know, where they got their sort of backstage passes and they can just walk past everybody. So that was cool. And yeah, you can see all of these creatures that I brought with me. Some of them are much bigger than others. Some of them are really heavy. Some of them aren't. So mainly I was going backwards and forwards with a trolley to get them all in. At the very end though, when the public were allowed in at about 9:30, you had to stop using trolleys. So I had to, you know, bring the last of my creatures in just by hand. Things like this gremlin. He weighs about 3 stone because he's pretty much solid milliput. That was quite kind of back breaking, but it was all worth it, you know, all the hard work. Once it was set up, it was brilliant. And then we left all the creatures overnight, and everything was really safe because there's like cameras everywhere, so nothing was, you know, touched or stolen or anything, which is great. I was really kind of worried that would be the case, but everything was fine. So looking forward to doing it maybe another year as well. I'll show you in a bit a picture that they put on the Makers Central website of me doing my speech. They picked me with a particularly funny expression on my face, but it was fine. It worked quite well. And you'll see that I was doing my talk next to my gremlin because my talk was mainly about how I make these creatures, or the start of the talk was anyway. And then I also talked about other things that are on my channel, things like the fact that I've got a mini museum, and I collect vintage toys, and then some of my sort of drawing and painting videos as well. I talked about those, and also the side of my channel which is keeping exotic pets, which I don't do as much as I used to, but I do still have some armadillos, so I spoke about that for a little bit. What was also really cool is Stephen Atherton, the guy from Milliput, came to the show. And I don't know if some of you know the story or not, but the basic story is that I made my gremlin from Milliput. At the time, I wanted to make a really decent model. So I didn't mind spending a lot of money on Milliput to make him. I think I spent about 200 quid on Milliput. So I used a lot, and what came from that is that somebody saw my YouTube video and they told Stephen Atherton from Milliput about me, and then he got in touch with me and he ended up sponsoring my channel. So now every so often he sends me a free box of Milliput, and it keeps me going, it keeps me sculpting all the time. So when he came to the show, it was really good because he was in the audience for one of my speeches as well, and I was able to thank him properly for being a sponsor of my channel. If you haven't used Milliput before, it's a 2-part putty, and you mix the 2 parts together in equal amounts, and then it sets rock hard in about 4 hours. So it means that you can make an arm on a creature or something like that, and then you can let it dry, and then you can go on to make the other arm, and you can just work in stages and work your way around a model. So like with the Gremlin, he was just a wire armature to start with, and then all of the rest was just Milliput built up on the top, and all of the scales and things could be put on very gradually. Right, this is my banner that I have made for the show. What do you think? It's pretty cool, huh? These are my 2 kind of new characters that I designed to go on my channel. They went on all my business cards and stickers and things as well. So I think it looks pretty cool. What do you think? And what's really amazing is that my stand was kind of directly opposite Colin Firth's. I'll show you that in a bit. Okay, here I am doing one of my speeches. It was really cool because originally I was told I was going to have 45 minutes to do my speech, and I wrote one, and it was just in a little notebook, and then I timed myself doing it and it came to about an hour and 3 minutes or something. But then in the end, it turned out when I got there, they said, oh, your speech is going to be, your slot is an hour long. So it worked out perfectly because I still had the notes from the original one, even after I'd cut it down to 45 minutes. I had the original notes, so I could just use those. So my speech was about it was an hour both days. Right, I was going to show you where I was positioned compared to everything else, and if I just zoom around, this was the VIP area, and just to the left of that was main stage. So I was in a really good place, and then if I zoom around even more, you see that's Colin Firth's stand over there. You can just see Colin Firth stood there. I was able to have a little chat with him on the Sunday morning.
Excellent. Cool. Brilliant.
This is a side of Makers Central you don't get to see very often. This is right at the end where everybody takes everything down. They call it breakdown, and everybody works like little ants just running about getting rid of everything, and the hall clears so quickly. You've never seen anything like it. This is the very end, so people aren't looking quite as busy as they were, but it is a crazy time. Right, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hit subscribe if you want to see anything I do in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.